Psst. You like the sticker? You think it's pretty cool? Link in the description to buy it, as well as a bunch of other really cool products. Trust me, you'll like it. Hello Internet, this is Olin from What I'm Listening To, here, once again, with another episode of Quickies. The first CD I have for you today, I have The Beastie Boys, Some Old Bullshit. This is a collection of songs that the Beastie Boys recorded when they were still a hardcore punk band, way before they dove into hip-hop. And this is actually something I've been really wanting to listen to because I've known about their hardcore punk roots and never actually listened to anything by them. So I was really excited to find this because I really want to hear their beginnings. And I think there is even a song called Beastie Boy or The Beastie Boys. I think it's just Beastie Boy, which is where they took their title. So I don't know what they were called prior to this, but this CD is crediting them as Beastie Boys. So yeah, some old hardcore Beastie Boys stuff. Looking forward to listening to this. Next up, I have an album by Popol. This is definitely not the first time I've talked about this group on a Quickies video before. I really like them. And I first learned about them through the band Flying Saucer Attack, who has 3 tracks, actually, Popol Vuh 1, 2, and 3 respectively, heavily inspired by the works of this band. And now that I think about it, this particular album is considered one of Flying Saucer Attack's most influential albums, or it's the album that influenced them, I should say. So as soon as I saw this, I had to grab it and give it a listen myself. Popol Vuh has quite a bit of work in their discography, a lot of which got reissued and remastered with all this extra stuff on it, which is really cool. And we have a bunch of copies of their stuff, so slowly but surely I've been making my way through it all and listening to it. But yeah, everything I've listened to by this band I've really enjoyed, so this one I'm assuming I will like just as much. Next up, I have some alternative country. This is a Margo Price CD. Her album. Next up, I have some country music. This is a Margo Price album. This is her album, That's How Rumors Get Started. This is just one of those albums that came on at work, and there were a handful of songs that I liked, and some that I just wasn't completely paying close attention to. But it wasn't until the last track came on, I'd Die For You, which really got my attention and really got me to run and grab this album so I could give it a closer listen. It was just very powerful, very emotional. I loved the melody and just thought it was such a pretty track. So I'm looking forward to re-listening to this one again. I want to hear all the songs, try to absorb them, and see if I have the same reaction as I did with that final track. I love the photos taken here. These are really cool. Lots of lyrics, more photos, yeah. This one was pleasantly surprising, so looking forward to giving this that closer listen. Next up, I have a Suicide album. This is their album, Why Be Blue. Recently we got a bunch of Suicide's albums in, and this one is actually one I've never actually heard. I believe it's their 3rd release, and there's really not much else to say. It's a reissue, so it features the original album, which is remixed by one of the members. And then it's got a second CD that's just a live album from songs from this album, from other albums, etc. But I'm a huge fan of Suicide's very, very first album, as a lot of people are. Considered one of the best synth punk records around. And I ended up diving into their second album fairly recently, and I really liked that one too. So I was very excited to see this one come in, and I might end up getting this just to have, because, well, you know, this band rules, and everybody should listen to them no matter what. Check this album out. Check this band out. Great stuff. The last thing I have for you today, I have the Moody Blues Days of Future Past, this super deluxe edition. I always forget how much I love this album, and every time I hear the song Nights in White Satin, that's when it dawns on me, this album is so fucking beautiful. For those of you who don't know, Moody Blues was a progressive rock band from the late 60s and 70s, and with this album they collaborated with the London Festival Orchestra, so it's got this really nice sort of symphonic progressive rock dreamy sound, and it's just so good. It's so good. And this particular release is just even better because it's got all this content on it. So actually, let me see if I can check the back here for it. So disc 1 is the original album, the original 1967 stereo mix, along with tons of other bonus tracks on here. And then the second disc is the album stereo mix that was done in 1972, along with a bunch of other bonus tracks, some B-sides, some mixes without the orchestra, alternative mixes for the vocals, etc. And then disc 3 is a DVD surround sound mix of, I believe, the full album. Yeah, the full album with visual content. So this thing is really, really meaty, and anybody who's a fan of the album, myself, should own this. And I've been listening to this for a bit now, and I've decided that I'm going to buy it. I'm going to trade in my current CD copy I have, which I think was like a 2004 reissue. This, to me, is like the essential thing. And just diving into what we got here. Got this insert here. I think this is just like a poster. Yeah, look at that. And then this is just like advertising a bunch of their stuff, or showing the Nights in White Satin releases in different countries. And I know it's kind of like a generic thing to say that I like, but that song is seriously one of the best 60s prog songs I've ever listened to. I can remember first hearing it. It was with my dad. We were listening to it was a Sirius XM channel. I think it was a Classic Rewind or Classic Vinyl, one of those two. And this song came on, and my dad just went, "Ooh, the Moody Blues," and just told me that, you know, the song that was playing was basically everything that the band did, just very sort of low-key, groovy, dramatic music. And yeah, and ever since then, I've just been a fan. It's also used in a scene from the movie A Bronx Tale, in a particularly gruesome scene, which is kind of an interesting contrast, but still makes the scene great regardless. Another great movie. But yeah, anyways, this edition, this is the DVD here, this edition is awesome. And I need to seriously just invest in this, because yeah, look at it. So good. So very good. All right, Internet, that concludes this episode. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next week.